For this video, we are going to discuss the question on every MMA fan's mind. Can Tom Aspinall beat Jon Jones? So Jon Jones successfully defended his title at UFC 309 against Stipe Miocic. His fight against Miocic was just his third since 2020. And the biggest thing for Jon Jones in that fight was that he reminded everybody just how good he is. Jones's fight IQ is exceptional, and the breakdown of a gladiator like Stipe Miocic was really impressive to watch. And arguing against Jon Jones as the greatest MMA fighter of all time is really difficult to do at this stage of the game. Yet for a better part of the year, MMA fans worldwide have believed that Tom Aspinall is the man to defeat Jon Jones. Why is that? Can Tom Aspinall really beat Jon Jones? Jones's performance at UFC 309, may have caused some doubt that Tom Aspinall can get the job done. Uh, we've had two really intelligent MMA veterans such as Eddie Alvarez and Rampage Jackson back Jon Jones in this hypothetical matchup. Eddie Alvarez told Ariel Hawani on his show this week that when he sees the Aspinall fight, what he sees is Jon taking him down and doing what he likes to him on the ground. Aspinall is a crazy dangerous threat in the stand-up game. He moves like a lightweight, crazy athletic, but none of that matters when you're on the ground. The allure of Tom Aspinall being so great, the movement, the speed, the athleticism, it all goes out the window when Jon Jones rips him to the floor and submits him. Rampage Jackson said that he believed that Stipe Miocic was the tougher fight for Jon Jones that Tom Aspinall would be. However, Tom Aspinall, he disagrees with this sentiment, obviously. He believes he is the man to beat Jon Jones. UFC 309, he wasn't really impressed by Jon Jones's performance. He thought that it just went exactly the way he believed it was going to go. Stipe was boxing the entire time, and, he just looked really slow in there. His reaction time was slow. He's been out of the octagon for about 3 years now. He's 42 years old, and, he just wasn't quick enough to close the distance on Jon Jones. Jon Jones wasn't the fastest guy in the world either. Stipe looks slower and older than he did the last time we saw him in the octagon. And, a lot of stock has been put into the fact that Jon Jones has, said that he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, and that people think that he's ducking Tom Aspinall. He's talked about at UFC 309 that he finds Tom Aspinall annoying, how people find him entertaining, but to him he's just annoying and he doesn't like him. He's said that Tom Aspinall's been an asshole. Tom Aspinall has been a very nice guy throughout this whole call out of Jon Jones over the year. He really could have played much dirtier in the media than he has, and he's been very respectful of Jon Jones. But he doesn't need to fight Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall needs to fight Jon Jones, and Jon Jones wants a payday. I think the likely scenario is that Jon Jones is more just promoting the fight by negatively talking about Tom Aspinall. We've seen just how huge this has gotten over the past year. This is the most in-demand fight in the UFC. I think this is probably going to be their biggest fight that they've ever put on at this point. Everyone wants to see this fight. This would be the biggest fight of 2025, without a doubt. I think Jon Jones just wants more money. But for argument's sake, why would Jon Jones, the greatest of all time, not want to fight Tom Aspinall? Jon Jones has terrific fight IQ, and it's hard to deny that he does not possess the greatest fight IQ, we've ever seen in MMA. And why is that? It's a simple reason. He studies video religiously. He talked about on the Joe Rogan Experience how he studies everyone extensively, comes up with their patterns, figures out why they flinch, what their first favorite punch is, what their second favorite punch is, what their third favorite punch is, their combinations, the way they set up takedowns, when they clinch, what side is their head going to be on. He wants to know everything about his opponent. And the reality is we know very little about Tom Aspinall. So if and when Jon Jones sits down and begins to study Tom Aspinall and his patterns, Jones will have a limited amount of material to work with. as Tom Aspinall's average fight time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds is the shortest in UFC history. And he's had 9 fights. It's not that small of a sample size at this point. Tom Aspinall has fought past the first round just once in his 9 fights. And he made it to the second round once. 1 minute and 9 seconds into that second round, he got the submission victory. 6 of his 8 fights have come by knockout, so we view him as just a knockout artist and a boxer. But he's not. He actually comes from a wrestling background and a Brazilian jiu-jitsu background. So his grappling skills, you'd imagine, are very strong, but no one's ever had the ability to test those, and no one's really had the ability to withstand his punches at this point. So we don't really know how good Tom Aspinall's grappling really is. So if Jon Jones's game plan is to grapple with Tom Aspinall, which you imagine it would be, since Jon Jones is an elite grappler himself, he could be in for a surprise. Aspinall won the British Open in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in all belt classes except for black belt. His father is a jiu-jitsu coach, and Tom Aspinall is a jiu-jitsu coach. He followed in his father's footsteps, and he runs the family-owned gym, the Aspinall Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. Aspinall's power and speed are much better than everybody else at heavyweight. You know, and that's no one has been able to withstand that power and speed. But he has a lot of weapons that we have not seen because they've been able to withstand his power and speed. Um, you know, that catch wrestling background is really important. That I think is going to be the biggest test, is how good is his wrestling when he fights Jon Jones. Uh, you know, Tom Aspinall has never seen a quite like Jon Jones. Jon Jones is a really athletic guy, and he's good at everything, and heavyweights don't have a lot of weapons. They don't really use like head kicks as much. They don't move as well as some of these smaller guys. So Jon Jones can do a lot of things that Tom Aspinall hasn't seen with his opponents. So he's never really seen a fighter like Jon Jones, like I said. But Jon Jones hasn't faced a fighter quite like Tom Aspinall. Uh, you know, Bigger, stronger men have not been able to take the power of Tom Aspinall. So Jon Jones is going to struggle with that himself. And this is why this is the biggest fight the UFC can make in 2025, because realistically, it's a 50-50 fight. But personally, in my gut, I do feel like Tom Aspinall can get the job done. He has the tools to be able to beat Jon Jones. Like I mentioned earlier, Eddie Alvarez and Rampage Jackson, they believe that Jon Jones, is a nightmare stylistically for Tom Aspinall, and that may be the case. But other super intelligent fighters such as Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, one of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Again, an elite fight IQ on the level of Jon Jones. He believes that Tom Aspinall has the ability to beat Jon Jones. And I do too. In my gut, I think Tom Aspinall is the man to beat Jon Jones. Thank you for watching.